5 o'clock, so we're gonna get started. We've got one thing on our agenda. Hopefully we can manage to cover it in, Megan says under 2 hours. Reviewing the attorney RFPs.
I said 45 minutes. We only have an hour before the actual meeting, so.
True.
That's true.
I mean, if we need more time, we'll take more time during the meeting, but I don't think.
I don't think we will.
What are people's thoughts?
Well, how about you decide on which firms that you didn't like, and then that way, the ones that you do like, then you can talk about.
Maybe we could limit to 3, or let's,
I think there's
Yeah.
pros
Cut our
There's a
losses.
limit.
and cons everywhere.
So, working from 6 is a lot.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
as much as,
G's got them right here.
Yep.
The,
I'd like to try and use local, they have absolutely no experience. That's my biggest
I think
concern.
his-
agreed.
And the fact that they're gonna charge us just as much as firms that do have the experience.
They were number 6 of the 6, so.
Yeah, I think his
I
biggest,
think we almost have to eliminate them. Plus, he can't be here at most council meetings and,
I will push back on that a little bit, only because I have worked with Adam as both an opposing attorney on cases, and he represented my parents in a lawsuit, so I've seen how he works. I know him to be very good. I encouraged him to at least submit a proposal for tonight, or for this. I share the concern that he's just as expensive. But I'm wondering if we threw something back and said, look, we'd entertain it if you came in at
150.
Spooner's rates, whatever, or something.
We're gonna be paying for the learning curve.
We will be paying for,
He said he wouldn't charge us for.
And you have to offer that to the other 5.
No, because they have experience. He does not have any experience. That's one of the reasons don't want to pay him $200 an hour when he doesn't know anything,
No, you're right.
where the others all do. They earn their 200.
I mean,
I mean,
he seemed smart and he seemed like he could learn,
He did.
and it's a pro that he's close,
Here.
but I think that if he's all of our number 6, then he's all of our number 6, you know?
and
I don't know if it's worth the time to hash it out.
I'm not going to sit here and stomp my feet and say you have to do it. I don't think he's my number 6. But that is also because I have the experience of being on the
Yeah.
other side of the V.
right.
And I've seen how he works. So I think there's more there that doesn't come across in the paper. But it would also be contingent on them being willing to drop it down to a more reasonable rate. And I don't know that they are.
Just for,
The other ones are so good that I don't know that we want to. So I'm sorry, Neil.
I'm sorry, what's Spooner's current rate?
Well, he gets a contingent, I mean, he gets a.
Right.
And that, he has hours off of that. But I don't know what his actual rate.
And none of these are asking for the
No,
contingency.
he said most don't. He said the only reason that was something that was pushed when Bertram was on council, because he came to,
And I-
that way he could come to every meeting and we weren't paying him
And
as
I-
part of his,
I'm looking too, unless we have something that we know is, we need a lawyer for, I don't think they need to come to every meeting.
Right?
Only when we have items that we know we need their expertise.
I'm just concerned about all the things that Bill, that we don't know that we need his expertise on, and he kind of pops in and is like, oh, you can't do that, or you should word it like this, or it
Yeah.
would be easier to route the money through this way. Those are my concerns, but, I mean, it is what it is, and no one can come to the meetings like he does, so it's something we're just gonna have to learn.
well, I wouldn't say no one. The
Yeah,
last one that Cuddick, yeah, Rock, he said he would come to 2 meetings a month.
But charge us for them.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but
That'll be a lot.
Bill does too.
Yeah, I mean, that's the saving grace about having somebody local, is that we're not charging, or we're not being
Mileage.
charged for travel time.
yeah.
The other thing, but if he's at the lake, at Rice Lake, it's not gonna be much charging.
He was at 265,
He was
Yeah.
the highest priced.
yes. That kind of turned me off.
Yeah.
Plus, how many years does he have left?
That was my concern
That was
too.
Sean's too.
I had that thought as well.
I mean, we're gonna have to go through this again in a year or two?
Well, we would,
We prefer not.
yeah,
I mean, I would think they'd have more people at the firm. I think that's why they had Margot on the call.
right.
But I didn't like the fact that she wasn't doing any of the talking.
She didn't,
It really was just his show.
yeah.
For me, the Squires firm was the bottom of the list.
Yep, that one was one of my bottom ones too.
Those were
Utah
the
Rock?
two. No.
No.
The Squires, Waltzberger, and Mace.
That's fine.
Those were the two, the young guys.
Yeah, and I
Oh,
know,
yeah, yeah.
I'm an associate at firm J Squares.
Isn't that the one that also does the high school?
Yes.
Yeah, so, and they're here, and they did Maple Lake, which was that was,
No, Maple Lake was Kennedy Graven.
okay. Well, that's why I
I
have my notes
liked
here.
the man and the woman who were here,
That was Kennedy Graven.
yes.
And see, they were ones that I was looking forward to.
I wasn't impressed with them.
Really?
They gave me just too much of a big firm feeling.
They did have that,
They
yeah.
have 39 attorneys,
And
and
it
they
was,
have this, and they
yeah, it definitely, I didn't,
They're number one on my list.
I would think they
Yeah.
would be lost, we would be lost in the shuffle.
The only reason why is because Sam Ketchum came across real clear, and his assistant, 24 years' experience behind it. And she's also an attorney, but didn't want to practice the law like Sam was doing. He came across as being, more professional and made the effort to come here and give his presentation in front of us.
Yeah, that was good.
Who are we talking about?
The younger guy, Sam Ketchum,
Kennedy, this one.
Yeah, the Kennedy and Craig.
Okay, on Kennedy and Craven, number 5 is a big, deal with me. And we all know we got things going on that.
Yep.
And they
Renegotiated.
I get it tongue-tagged, yes. Renegotiated an agreement, and that's where we're at.
But Flaherty and Hood are the ones who have litigated those agreements.
it's true.
Yes, I like what they had to say too, but didn't they say that they weren't successful?
No, they were.
Or they were,
They
okay.
were, yep. And it was the same issue where it was some sort of annexation agreement with no out clause.
Well,
And I really liked them for that.
my number 1 was Flaherty and Hood.
Can you explain that a little bit more, Sean?
What part?
That agreement?
Yeah, so as I understood what the gentleman from Flaherty and Hood was telling us, the guy with 2 first names,
Yep. Yeah, two first names.
Robert Scott?
yeah, Bob Scott. He said that they had some city or some government, they had an annexation agreement that they worked on, and it wasn't exactly like ours, but there was some clause in it that was just there for life, as I understood what he said. And that they litigated that and were able to get the agreement tossed out.
Okay.
The other firms, Levander had a little bit of experience in it, while some of the other attorneys at the firm would have had annexation experience. But Kennedy and Graven were the other ones with good annexation experience.
Yep.
But I thought the best one for annexation was Flaherty and Hood. And if that was our immediate concern, and I agree that it needs to be up towards the top of the list, then I think we need to go there and look no further.
Well, I like the fact that they also are in Wilmer and Cold Spring.
Yep.
Yeah, that
So-
was.
And they go to Wilmer twice a month.
If we line up our meetings with Wilmer's meetings,
We could split the cost.
we could split the cost.
Or Cold Spring.
Right.
If I was a law firm, I wouldn't split the cost.
I don't know, Wilmer's meetings are not on Monday.
Lawyers split their costs, Sean.
No, but we can get them, you can charge us to travel to Wilmer,
Right.
but not back.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think Squires is out, and as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'm concerned, yeah.
Anybody want us to pay more mind to Squires?
No.
Nope.
Okay, out.
Out. Turn that one over.
Did we land on the same spot with Amundsen, Johnson, Schrader?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay?
2 down, 4 to go.
So, what kind of contract are we looking at again?
Yeah,
It's
how,
a 1-year renewable, I think.
They're a year, but we can always ditch at any time.
So, but even a year, that's, I think that if we're going into it thinking like, oh, we have to find another Spooner, you know, who's gonna be here for decades and decades and decades, then I think it's a bigger deal than we just need to find somebody who can deal with our immediately facing issues, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and we,
See, that was the other
Figure
thing
it
I
out in a
liked
year.
about that Cuddick Rock, is the fact that he knows Bill. So if he has any questions, he can,
true.
I don't know that he does.
he just knows them from conferences.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, he just knows who
'Cause-
he is. That's what I figured.
Which they probably all do.
Well,
To a certain extent, yeah.
if they go.
I know we should make a decision tonight.
We have to, it's on the agenda.
I know Leslie Valiant at Wilmer would tell you what they think of their attorney.
Okay. Have you spoken
She's
to him?
easy to talk to,
Is she the
the
City-
administrator.
administrator? I actually know one of the gals on the, on the council there.
She actually graduated with Patty, so they're kind of friends.
Why didn't you call ahead of time?
I've been sick.
Only real quick.
Oh, you've been sick. I'm
You've been on vacation.
Patty don't like it when I talk to other women.
probably not.
Tell Patty to call her then.
I do have a history.
Well,
Yeah,
that's your
you
fault.
do.
What did we think of Lavander? Tarek's BFF.
I didn't
I like
want,
lavender.
yeah, I bet-
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Eh,
I
I mean, I've heard better presentations.
yeah,
She was fine until she started saying that Tarek was this, like,
yeah.
yeah.
guy. Then I started-
Clearly, her judgment is not to be
I
trusted.
think she has a
You
thing,
know, he has that effect on some people.
I think she has a thing for you.
Once they know him, it's different.
I'm for eliminating that one.
You're in favor of
I-
the meeting? I will say, I wanted to, from looking at the materials before the meeting, she was closer to the top of my list.
Yeah, she was one of our top three.
I think was really professional, and, you know, I think she did a good job. I just don't think anything stood out for me to the extent that she would be in the top two, you know?
Yeah, I got a little bit of a feeling like she'd be cutting her teeth on us, not like Adam Schrader is, but
Yeah, she's only been an attorney 5 years.
Which, I mean, you know.
she's only been in municipal 5 years.
You
Yeah.
can't really, I mean, you know, here we are saying this one guy's too, you know, doesn't have enough years left in him, and then, you know, I mean, so there's gotta be a line somewhere, obviously.
Yep.
So it's not necessarily a downside to me, and I thought she was good, I thought she was really professional, I just, she sounded like she had a lot of knowledge, but I think that she's not in my top two.
When we talked to all of them about assessments, special assessments and that sort of thing, they all have dealt with appeals and we hardly ever have any. So it's like, we don't care, you know, I can remember one.
True.
No, I don't have anything against Amanda. I thought she did fine. But I think that we have better candidates for similar prices. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep going back to the Flaherty and the annexation stuff.
I know that was big with Neil too. I'm eliminating Lavender.
My top two were Flattery and Kennedy and Craven.
Yeah, I'd be happy with either one, honestly.
And it's kind of a toss-up by, when you look at their rates, Kennedy and Craven are a little cheaper on the para and law clerk. They're both at 205 on the attorney.
Yeah.
Which one was it that they already put in there that rates were going up each year? The next 3 years? I don't know, I don't remember which one it was, and I don't have my computer to look up.
It wouldn't surprise me if that was all of them, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say all.
No, but only one of them put it in their RFP,
Okay.
telling
They do
us.
flattery then because they give us the draft agreement. Oh. But they want to give a draft.
Oh. And then I think Kennedy and Craven was the one that charges per 15-minute increments instead of 10 or something.
Oh, were they?
Yes.
Oh, the other thing I didn't like about Kennedy, this was the sense I got, and it's just a gut feeling. But when Sam came here, he did a great job, but it sensed like the senior associate was looking over his shoulder the whole time. And I don't want to be working with somebody where the senior associate is going to be reviewing all of it and then billing us for reviewing everything. And that was sort of the sense I got, is that that's how the senior associate makes her billable hours, is by looking at all the money that the associates bring in and then double check it all.
First person was this one.
That's just me being skeptical of big law firms.
Yep.
Wasn't there, the first person I saw wasn't the guy who's.
And that was Flattery?
That was the Kennedy Graven.
Yep,
But I don't know, I could get over that pretty quickly too.
They're well qualified.
They are well qualified.
Yep.
I think Kennedy and Flaherty are my two top picks.
well, when I look under Rachel's background, that she was the city attorney for the city of Roseville, which has got, what, about 50 to 60,000 people in it? So, I don't know if she's working with Sam to move this along, to get him to bite bigger fish, if you know what I mean?
Could be.
Because when you look under Sam's resume here, he's still young. I mean, he's clerked and everything else, but he's working his way up.
Well, and when I asked him who he clerked for a family court judge. So he left a family court clerkship and he went into municipal law.
Okay.
So he clerked, he's got courtroom experience.
Yeah.
But your ability to clerk for a judge doing a custody trial doesn't tell me anything about your ability to do annexation work. I have watched, because I got curious a couple of times, a number of Maple Lake meetings, and he seemed to be doing a good job there.
Good. It's nice
Why
someone,
was you watching this?
it's nice that someone was
I
doing a
just
good
check in
job
on
there.
other cities from time to
Uh-huh.
time.
And see, to me, that's a red, unless they just didn't listen to their attorney, why'd they let things go on so long? Of course, maybe they never discussed it with their attorney. We don't know.
I mean, from what I got
Well-
from their other council members at various conferences and things, there seemed to be different feelings about everything, and I'm sure they couldn't get on the same page whether their attorney wanted them to or not, honestly.
How long are these agreements binding for? Is it yearly?
So they're yearly agreements, but I mean, we can exit them at any time. Lavenders did say that they would increase annually. It doesn't say anything for 3 years, it just says they increase annually.
Well,
One of them had the price in there for each of the next 3 years.
can we all agree on the top two?
I think so.
I think we're down to Flattery and Hood and Kennedy and Craven.
Graven.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Graven, yeah.
So, we got it narrowed down to two. 15, 20 minutes, that's pretty amazing. And this is where it gets tough, because I myself have a toss-up.
Well, I know I asked the staff how they felt about, because they call Bill, or they run stuff back and forth all the time, and she said, well, we'll just have to do things differently.
We can do things electronically.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
I like the fact that they have different attorneys for different, so if something came up that our attorney did, they have people to go to get help. I mean, they have a labor attorney. We could maybe just not have a separate labor attorney.
That makes sense.
Boy, I love our labor attorney though.
Yeah.
So one thing that,
That'd be a difficult conversation to have, is all I'm getting at.
So say I haven't had to deal with her, so.
one thing that jumped out at me with what Rachel said is that being that they had worked with so many cities and townships and schools, that they pretty much have seen everything come across their desk, where they'll have some sort of experience in which way to go. Even though every issue is gonna be a little different, they'll at least have a blueprint.
Where do you
to
have a
start.
Rachel? I don't have a Rachel.
I think she was the lady with Sam.
Yeah, she was the lady with Sam.
Mary is her name.
Oh,
Mary?
I have Mary. She has
thought Rachel
23
was
years.
the-
Well, why do I have Rachel on here?
She wasn't here.
Oh, she wasn't here, Mary. Oh, you're right, I'm sorry. I got the name mixed up.
I was gonna say, there's no Rachel. I wrote down the name.
Okay,
Because she was filling in, I think, for this Rachel.
yeah.
Gosh. She was at another meeting or something.
Well, I think we're gonna need someone who's gonna have some experience within their firm somewhere along the way. So they, instead of doing the research and finding out which way to go.
Well, yeah, I think
They'll be
you-
able to pinpoint it rather soon.
Either of these would do that.
Here's my fear. We're not going to be able to renegotiate a new annexation agreement. And we're going to end up
Just annex.
staring down the barrel of litigation. I want somebody,
Can you back up?
yep,
Why do we have to renegotiate the annexation agreement?
Because not in our favor.
It's not working, it's worthless.
Yeah, we need to
And
keep
it's perpetual, it never ends, which is a mistake, always.
yeah, there's no expiration date on it. It makes it next to impossible for groups to annex into the city. And we are currently, as a city, we are landlocked.
Yep.
Well, Gene, we were just talking about it when we ran into each other on Thursday at Queen Bee's. Your friend asked, where are the city limits?
Right.
And it's where all the houses end.
Yeah.
It literally is in all directions. It's-
So when was the annexation agreement,
2013? No, it's older than that.
It was earlier.
9, I would say,
okay,
somewhere in there.
But I sense, given our conversations with the township to date, it's going to be a, well, you can sue us to get out of it. And maybe that will change after the elections.
I wouldn't hold my breath on that.
Didn't say I was. There's always a chance.
There is.
I like that Flaherty and Hood were willing to say, yep, sometimes we just need to take things into a courtroom. And just march in and do it.
And they have had experience
They
doing
have.
it.
Yep, and that's how you know they're willing to do it, is because they're the only ones who have that experience.
Are they, or are they just the only ones who like brought it up and discussed it?
No, we asked that
Because-
question to everybody.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was one of
well,
the
we
questions.
talked, yeah, I mean, I know we talked about it, but I don't know. I mean, I would rather negotiate first. I don't want, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, and we would
Right.
have to, but I don't, yeah, I don't want it to get any messier than it has to be, certainly, but, I mean, if it has to go there, that's where it's gotta go, so.
But even in negotiations, you'll want a lawyer's advice.
Right, but I'm just saying, I don't know that, you know, I don't know. I didn't get the impression that the other firm couldn't litigate it if
They probably have somebody that
it came
can.
down to it,
These firms are big enough.
yeah.
I mean, they'll
just
have-
out of curiosity, what's the problem with the annexation agreement right now, other than there's no out on it?
Because,
The biggest thing is that in order for anyone to annex, even if they might want to,
Yep,
they have to do it because they need water and sewer. And that is the only reason that anybody can annex.
they have to
Yep.
prove that they, you know, need water and sewer, more or less. It's a
Sure.
big thing, and,
They keep the proceeds for, what is it, 5 years?
5 years. Well, it goes down
In
a
a
percentage
percentage.
every year.
Which is somewhat fair. I mean, I'm not arguing a whole lot about that, but
It goes down every year, yeah.
My biggest gripe is that you can't, if I live somewhere and I want to be annexed into the city because whatever reason, I want the police coverage, I want better snow plowing, whatever it is, why can't I just call up and say, let me into the city? Or if I'm a developer and I want to bring a bunch of houses into the city, why can't we do that? And why is it this big to-do where we're blocked every step? Where we have developers who want to do it, and it starts this big thing. This agreement is just crap.
township doesn't want to lose the tax base?
Right. That's exactly right.
Okay,
And I have no interest.
And we designated areas that were potential annexation properties.
okay,
And if somebody wants to come in that maybe's on a little different area,
yep.
don't even, it's not allowed, because you're not in the orderly annexation area.
Okay, so that makes more sense now why that needs to be renegotiated.
It has needed to for a while,
Okay, makes sense to me.
because
it's
there's.
it's a real one-sided agreement.
It is.
I can't believe the previous councils agreed on that.
Now, give
On
me
a
a
split
break.
vote,
No, I
on a
bet-
split vote.
yeah. I don't
I
think
don't
that-
even remember.
I would have
Everyone
never
did.
voted for it.
I would-
Let him have it, Gene.
Yeah.
I looked it up once and I'd want to double check it, but I'm fairly certain that it was a 3-2 vote.
It seems like it would be.
Well, It was a couple of the council people working with the council, with the township and the city administrator, just hammering out the details.
Well, and it's not that I don't get where, you know, the township's coming from in a way that, you know, people who live in the township want space, they want whatever, they want this and that, but then, I mean, then you purchase that space and you keep it the way that you want it. That's how it works. So, I mean, yeah.
So they're afraid of us,
The township.
the township is.
Well,
It just, they don't want, you know, they
They
like,
don't want to lose anything they have.
Because there's times where I've run into Steve Lemke along the way, and he would say to me, "So are we still fighting with the city?" And I says, "I don't think we ever were." So he was trying to dig for some information, but I didn't know anything, so I just told him the truth. As far as I know, there's no problems. But he was looking for information where it was
well,
possible.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
But who knows, in a month, we won't have to deal with him.
Well, Steve isn't up for reelection. He's not. It's Butch.
Well, Butch is not
going
running.
off. Steve is not going to run next time, but,
No, he's already said he's not.
yeah, but this time it's Butch.
Well, sometimes people say that and then they change their minds, don't they?
And then you can write candidates.
Try to be a writing candidate, yeah. That's interesting.
So you never know. You never know what he'll decide to do.
So
Gee, why does it
which
seem
one of
like you're
these
on the hot seat
two?
tonight? You shouldn't be.
I know,
Maybe
I know, because,
I-
hey, it
ready
is
to
what it
vote? I
is.
don't think we are.
I don't know.
Well, you were just
I
1-5 on the
honestly,
last.
I came in thinking this one, but
It's not like it all was
I've
on
got good
you.
feelings.
Oh,
about
no,
this.
it's not, I know, I just.
I'm okay with
No, I
either.
know.
I mean, all we can do
I
is give
think
them a
either
try.
one of them.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Gene, you did vote in
It's-
favor of the
I'm
agreement.
It's
sure I
gonna be
did.
different of what,
Oh, wait.
than what you're
No, no, no,
used to,
hold on.
but it's just gonna be a curve.
You voted in favor of an amendment.
Zimmerman was in on that
Oh, you-
confab thing, I think.
Oh, goodness. Somebody switched my chair and it's making me.
It was back when Renee was still, what year was it?
2010.
2010. Hey, I was close at 2009.
Blame Ron.
I will blame Ron.
Well,
It's gonna
okay,
be a
so we
little
have
hard
two
making
front
it like
runners.
that.
What do we need to know to pick a favorite?
I guess if it comes, what's the difference in cost is about the same?
Yeah, because it's a horse apiece to me as far as,
You changing chairs again?
I'm changing chairs for the first time. What do you mean?
No, I mean besides other weeks.
No, somebody took somebody changed them. That's not my normal chair. It's got the lumbar support in the wrong place and it's not comfy at
Oh,
all.
I know, I've sat in that one.
Yes.
It does not work.
See? I was like, mm-mm.
Okay, Kennedy Graven, cost is, well, I was just at the page,
K
At
and
least your
G.
computer works.
205,
Oh, okay, 205.
going up to 211 in 2026,
205 to 2011,
to 211.
211,
In 2026.
not 2011, that's a year that we missed.
Clarity and Hood is what?
Okay, so it's going up $6 in 2 years.
Right.
Okay,
Already
Well, a year pretty much.
is.
yeah, right, a year, you're right. Because they don't start until 2025,
205.
205. So they're basically the same.
But we don't know that they wouldn't renegotiate or, you know, for a change in,
Flaherty is a little bit more expensive when it comes to
Billing,
real estate.
okay?
Oh, Flaherty is also 15 minutes.
I said, they're the only ones that are 15.
I thought Kennedy was.
I think it was just Flattery.
So then if Kennedy's gonna be at a 0.6, that is significant cost savings. Because if you call and talk to somebody for 3 minutes, it's a lot different to get charged a 0.1 at 6 minutes than it is to be charged, I mean, it's cheaper to be charged a tenth of an hour than a quarter of an hour.
right.
You know, that's what Bill told me. I didn't understand how that worked. So, and see, it's Flattery, that's the first one, that is the 0.15. Yeah.
I would think, what would happen if we were to give Kenny and Graven a year to prove themselves on this?
Well, everybody's got a year to prove themselves.
I know,
And then if they don't work out, move to Flaherty.
Well, they're only a 1-year contract
we don't
anyway.
want enough work out.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah,
It's a cost.
But I'm just saying that if it's not working out, at least we have an out on it.
we always have an out.
Yep, yep.
Well, we don't know that they'll be available in a year either, but, I mean, I think with either one, I think we can look at it as, it's gonna be a year of getting used to them and us just getting used to
All I have written
something
for
different
the,
anyway, so.
under annexation for Kennedy and Graven was the firm has lots of experience. That's all I have on that one.
And I didn't get the impression they couldn't handle it.
No,
I just thought Flaherty could handle it better.
well, it's what we want to pay. One's more than the other.
I guess it just depends on
But we should look at one
what we're looking.
issue though.
Yeah, that's.
Because Bill Spooner has, I mean, there's many issues that he comes up with.
Yep.
I didn't write anything on my papers about that other question that we added, that we asked everybody.
I think people kind of had the same,
Pretty much the same answer.
yeah,
Okay, something else I don't like about Flaherty,
Okay,
and it just comes from a knowing. If you look at a bunch of them, they talk about charging for Westlaw or legal research. And Kennedy Graven said they don't charge us for that.
oh, that's cool.
Flaherty Hood say that they will charge as applicable to required usage.
what does
Whatever.
that mean?
For paralegals and
Well,
research?
I will say, so like, my firm, we pay a flat fee each month for our legal research. And if we use it, great. If we don't, we still pay the same amount.
Right.
But if we ever need to access something out of network, we have to pay for that. So like, if I want to look up a court order from the state of Iowa, I can, but I pay the out of network fee, and it's a lot. So I think if somebody's talking, as applicable to required usage, it makes me wonder if they have a flat account like I do. Because if they don't, then they're passing those costs along to the clients. Or how much are they getting outside of it, and what are we gonna be billed for that? I don't like it. Legal research is stupid expensive, and it adds up really fast.
I guess that means we're with
I'm shifting to Kennedy,
Kennedy and Graven.
and Paul's going, well, that's right, it was that since the beginning, but y'all don't listen to me.
So did I, but I knew you guys would come around, so I've just been
Well,
waiting.
that was Neil's top two anyway, so it shouldn't be a problem.
No,
Megan, you know that as a man, I just need to wait until I've convinced myself that it was my idea.
Yeah. Just give you time. You'll get there.
That's the secret of life, isn't it?
You'll get to the right answer eventually. No, I mean, I think I would, honestly, I'd be satisfied with either, but I just feel like, and I do feel like I got a slight edge from them coming here themselves.
I think they took the time to drive
Yeah.
out here for it.
and I made a note that they were here,
Yeah.
and that's kind of,
That's a good,
I know we did talk to
like
them a
somebody
little
comes
bit.
to an interview and is dressed appropriately,
Yeah.
the one that comes in work clothes.
Yeah, and I think that they,
Even
you
if
know,
they
we
did have
talked
a
to them little
substitute,
bit
no
longer, which
Rachel.
maybe is
Hey, what?
something to
had a substitute, no Rachel.
Well, but
Sorry.
I just,
Well, I
that
think
was
she had
inevitable
another
from them just
city.
being here.
yeah. I do feel like, there is a little bit of the concern we had about being, just like one of the crowd or whatever, but, and I think maybe them coming here kind of made me feel a little bit less like that's how it would be. But I don't know. I say we can give
If
it
the
a try.
consensus is, there's what we'll make the motion during the meeting. Okay, so our working session's over?
Okay, we're done.
Time? Okay, break.
Do we have